crumbling right in front of my face. Lack of funding to rebuild is slowly destroying us. Many of us can no longer hold out, and developers are gobbling up our property. When I hear voices like Tavis Smiley and James Farr speak truth to power on KBLA Talk 1580, it reminds me that we're not crazy, just unheard. Make no mistake here, KBLA delegation, this is war, and we the people of Black Altadena are losing. It's like waiting for reparation. Not gonna happen, brother. In this new orange man world, no one, no entity is persuaded by right or wrong. There is no consequence for doing the wrong thing, and no accolades or support for doing the right thing. Will war-torn Black Altadena survive? Your guess is as good as mine. But what have I got to lose? I'm in my 70s and don't have time to wait. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once suggested that riots break out when people have no hope. But there's nothing left to burn down in Altadena. I wish I could say I remain hopeful that my beloved community will rise again like a phoenix from the ashes. I wish I could. With a KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Pasadena Community Coalition at gmail.com. Reach out to me. As always, we welcome your feedback.
Yeah. At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. And I thank you, thank you.
How does it feel to have loved but lost and found true love again? How does it feel to be loved so good and know this time it's real? We were headed for a lonely road. We were drifting apart, but what we were, what we had, I'm so glad we got it back, yeah. Sometimes you just need a little space to grow. Gotta let your feelings show, 'cause they're valid, we can handle this, yeah. How does it feel to have loved but lost and found true love again? How does it feel to be loved so good and know this time it's real?
KBLA Talk 1580. Yeah, we're talking music. That song is called Feel. And I'm going to let the producer tell you a little bit more about it. He is Dr. Guthrie Ramsey. He is a leader of his own band, but he's also in the academy. He's a label head, leader of the band Dr. Guy's Musiqology. He's a producer. He's released at least 5 recording projects. I think it's more than that now. And he is an author as well, widely published author of Race Music, Black Cultures from Bebop to Hip Hop, The Amazing Bud Powell, Black Genius, Jazz History, and the Challenge of Bebop, and more. Dr. Guthrie Ramsey, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. So glad to be on the air with you.
Yeah, great to have you on. Tell us what we just were listening to.
We're listening to the new single that my company has just dropped by the artist Bridge. And I am the executive producer, but Bridge has 2 other producers that she worked with, Ali Above and Wavy Wilson, on this project. Bridge happens to be my daughter, and this kind of represents her breaking out from under the parental, umbrella that I provided. And boy, there's some really good music coming out from this lady. The project kind of documents her journey through her changing relationship with herself and her world after the transformative experience of birth and motherhood. She's the mother of 2 children under 5, and
wow,
that was life-changing. And she went from being, this singer first, wife first, and then she had 2 kids during the pandemic, and that changed everything for her. So this is her kind of fighting back to regain her voice after she felt it was silenced because of her new responsibilities.
Wow. Yeah, I can understand that. It's hard to be an artist and a mama, or an entertainer and mama, or anything.
Yeah.
And a mom, actually. But we find a way to do it. You're producing new music. You have a band, and you're teaching. Well, you've been teaching for many years as a music historian. So you kind of have your foot in the present and as an artist, but also as an historian in the legacy and the lineage of music. I feel like that's a pretty unusual combination. I don't know how many professors and authors at your level are actually performing and touring and producing and running a label.
Well, there are some. I'm definitely not alone in this. There are not many that I could point to, but more and more, I think, since I entered the academy in the early 90s, more and more people are being able to build these kind of multifaceted careers. Back in the dark days, it was hard to be a serious scholar and hold a professorship at particularly at these more prestigious institutions. You had to prove your seriousness by saying that I had not, I've left that performing thing behind, and I just spend most of my days in the library.
Right. And of course you're at UPenn, that's where you taught for many years, which is very much on that list of prestigious institutions. It's funny to me because when authors or poets or painters enter the academy, they're not expected to stop.
Absolutely. And
that's
as
weird.
you know well, the artists are always leading the way. And in fact, when the Black Studies became a thing in the academy in the late 60s, it was in fact artists like Max Roach and Archie Sheff and Amiri Baraka who were doing it's Sonia Sanchez who were doing those type of professorships, because at that moment the artists were leading the way, but then gradually we fell out of that paradigm, and people began to just hire the scholars for those positions.
Theory only. So, you're also a member of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. What does that really mean?
Well, it means you pay some dues. First of all, but it is a recognition of achievements over a lifetime in your career that you contributed something. I really like how you framed it, that I'm talking to dead people a lot as a historian and live people in the studio. So I really like how you frame that, because it truly describes my life. Those black dead people, they leave things behind, and they leave things for us to read. They leave breadcrumbs. They leave us a way to survive the very draconian times that we are living in. And I love learning those lessons from the past and applying them to the present moment, particularly as I work with young artists like Bridge and the rest of the Musiqology team, because it gives us a way to look back and look forward at the same time, and to bring as many people along with us as possible.
Yeah, that's that real life Sankofa in practice. I do want to talk about some of those folks when we continue this conversation, because I feel like in the news cycle, musicians, great artists leave the building, and we do a quick tribute, and then we keep it pushing. And I love that you can give us more grounding, more humanity to some of these, and also the academic part to some of these folks and their contributions. If you want to call in, we don't just have to do this on Black Music Month. Every month should be Black Music Month, or African American Music Month, as you informed me the official name is last time you were on. We're talking with Dr. Guthrie Ramsey. You're welcome in, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Are you wet shaving? You'll get razor bumps.
Nah, Pops. I'm good with Gillette Skin Guard. How long you been growing that beard Mama hates anyway?
Since 77. I shaved and got ingrown so bad.
That's why I use the Gillette Skin Guard razor, face scrub, shave gel, and moisturizer. So I don't have to worry about new razor bumps or shaving irritation.
Gillette Skin Guard, huh? Your mama's gonna love this one.
The best a man can get keeps getting better with Gillette Skin Guard. Buy now at a retailer near you.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you, thank you.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out.
Lead it.
Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow
the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions, this is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, sunshine. You make my day.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
If you take my kindness for weakness, you'll find out the hard way that you can't stay. I won't shy away from the hate you give, I'll embrace that shit. Turn it into motivation, get stronger and smarter, I'll take it and flip that beat. I've been down this road, I felt so alone. COVID, a new mom, was so hard, I still bodied it. That's the one thing you're gonna give me. If you can't, there's a door, you're gonna have to leave.
You don't have to like me, no. You don't have to want me. You don't have to love me, just go. 'Cause you will respect me. You don't have to like me, no. You don't have to want me. You don't have to love me, just go. 'Cause you will respect me.
Yeah, you gotta love that hook. Let's outro that song, Dr. Guthrie Ramsey.
Hello, yeah, this is baby girl standing on that business, I guess. Yeah, it's been very fascinating watching the growth of someone as a teenager and becoming interested in music from a musical home where, you know, it was kind of pushed, and eventually coming under my tutelage, going away to college, leaving my tutelage, going away to college, and coming back, right? And then coming back and working with me, and then ultimately growing into her own voice, and particularly I've noticed the subject matter change. You know, what Bridge, you know, there's a name, an artistic name change. Now she's known as Bridge. And so it's beautiful to nurture, but it's also more beautiful to let go and see what happens.
Yeah, not all parents can do that. So this is a new album, right, from Bridge?
Yes, it will drop later this month. There'll be a virtual listening party on Bandcamp on the 20th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll post it on our IG page at Musiqology Media, Musiqology Media Group, and we're inviting everybody to come and give a listen to the entire album. Thank you. It's breaking first on First Things First.
Yes, gotta love that. So that's right around the corner. The July 20th listening party online at Bandcamp. And we can follow you at Musiqology Media Group. And this album is brand new. Well, it hasn't even dropped yet, so that's amazing. And congratulations to you. I don't know. Working with our children is Yeah. Beautiful, but also challenging. I can't even imagine that. I did one project with my child, and it was, wow. Being directed by him, I said, you're a tyrant.
Yeah. It is. It will bring out the best. Let's say it brings out the best in you. Fortunately for me, Bridge has always been coachable and interested in what I had to say. But I also understand after many years of teaching young people that there's a time to mentor and then there's a time to let go. And so I think that watching us in this process is exciting, and I love to know in terms of the legacy of art making that it is assured, because long after I'm gone, I'm sure that what I put into the world and what I try to do in the world artistically will live on. The older I get, the more important that becomes.
Well, Bridge is getting good reviews in the KBLA delegation conversation, the comments on YouTube. Good song, beautiful voice, says MJ Scott. Edward Courtney, what a beautiful song to start a Monday vibe. Kwamel Allah says that song is Butter. Who is this? That is Bridge. Let's go to Mike.
Hey,
yes. Let's go to Mike calling us from Kansas City. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Dominique, and thanks for taking my call. And Dr. Ramsey, this is a great conversation. Just want to point something out. There is a great article, really good article, in the June 22nd, 2025 online edition of The Guardian. The title is Trump is Terrified of Black Culture, period, but not for the reason you think. And what the article talks about, it is really, they reference Dr. Gerald Horne, Sonia Sanchez, and Mary Baraka. And just to kind of summarize it, it's that art is a way of reaching people in that, say, the Academy doesn't. I mean, there's things that resonate. What's the theme song of the anti-apartheid movie? Johannesburg, Gil Scott-Heron. James Brown, Black Power movement. The article goes through how art weaves itself into everyday culture. So that's the only comment that I wanted to make, that Trump, it's the Guardian U.S. edition, June 22nd. Trump is terrified of black culture, but not for the reason you think.
Interesting. Want to talk about that, Dr. Ramsey?
I love that sentiment because, of course, during times like this where it is like boots on the ground and, we're trying to mobilize ourselves, our communities, to protect ourselves and to nurture ourselves. And of course, being an artist is difficult right now because you feel that, you can tend to question whether this particular form of activism is enough. But then I remember the lessons from the past when in our most harsh circumstances, the greatest art was made. And it is in the forging of our communities within difficulties that our most profound artistic statements are uttered. I have to keep remembering that. And I would love the idea that there's a young mother worried about her children, worried about her safety, might be able to pick up Bridges' album and find some hope because it sounds so dope anyway. And it's in the intoxication and the seduction of great sounding music that we can get the energy, the message that you need to make it through the end of that day with optimism and hope.
Yeah. And also just being, for me, it's I've been leaning on music even more than I normally would just to stay encouraged and stay energized. I feel like, we only have 10 seconds till news, traffic, and sports, so maybe we'll address this on the other side. But I feel like that's not erasable. You can try to take Black history and ethnic studies out of schools and museums, but how do you erase music? I just don't think they can do it. We're talking with Dr. Guthrie Ramsey, and you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. A deadly fire tore through Gabriel House, an assisted living facility in Fall River, Massachusetts, late Sunday. Here's Fall River Mayor Paul Coogan.
It's a terrible tragedy for the family and the residents, and fire department, police, DMS, everybody did a 5-star job.
Multiple residents died, dozens were injured, and 5 firefighters were hurt. The cause is under investigation. Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams raised $1 million in one night, rallying support for his independent re-election bid against progressive Democrat Zohran Mamdani. With big donors and bold stakes, the race is heating up fast. And a new report reveals Black health professionals in South Africa face racial bias in fraud investigations by medical schemes. GEMS, which stands for Government Employee Medical Scheme, is taking corrective steps, but Discovery Health disputes the findings. Unions are demanding systemic reform. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers head into the All-Star break after taking 2 of 3 from the Giants in San Francisco. They scored 3 runs after 2 outs in the 11th inning Sunday to beat the Giants 5-2. The Dodgers will have 4 players in the All-Star game Tuesday night in Atlanta. Catcher Will Smith, first baseman Freddie Freeman, designated hitter Shohei Ohtani, and pitcher Clayton Kershaw. The Angels ended the first half of the season with a 5-1 loss at home to Arizona. Even though the Angels are 2 games below 500 at 47-49, they have 6 more wins than what they had last season at the All-Star break. They were 14 games under 500 at the break last year. The Angels are 11-10 with interim manager Ray Montgomery. Montgomery took over for Ron Washington on June 20th when Washington stepped down because of undisclosed health reasons. Washington, one of 2 black managers in Major League Baseball, will not return this season. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you, thank you.
Catch Prep is now enrolling for summer credit recovery in fall 2025. As South Los Angeles' top-performing high school in English, math, and college access, Catch Prep is welcoming all 9th through 12th graders to enroll now. Catch Prep offers a small, supportive, and safe learning environment to help all students succeed, so that all students feel valued, respected, and motivated to reach their full potential. For the past 20 years, Catch Prep has helped more students of color gain admission to top-tier universities, with our graduating seniors earning a total of $3 million in scholarships. more than any other school in Los Angeles. We are dedicated to helping all students turn your college dreams into reality. Catch Prep is now enrolling. Visit us online at catchhighschool.com or call 323-293-3917. Space is limited. Please enroll now for summer credit recovery and fall 2025. Call 323-293-3917 or enroll today at catchhighschool.com.
Hey man, hey, what's up? What's that station you listening to? Oh man, you don't know? That's Talk Radio, KBLA 1580 AM. Check it out. 1580 KBLA AM. 1580 Talk Radio. Progressive.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're celebrating our 4th anniversary, and this track right here is the gift one of our devoted listeners presented to us.
Where you get some information, get a true education, just to know. Ooh, yeah. 1580.
How cool is that? Having a member of our KBLA delegation write us a song. Stop it! Our listeners love us and there ain't nothing we can do about it. Wouldn't want to. Thanks to Cardell and everybody else for turning on KBLA Talk 1580. We love you right black.
KBLA 1580 Talk Radio. Get it like me. Ooh, KBLA 1580 Talk Radio. Progressive.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
Take the day off. That's all I want. Might sit around. Oh, I might just keep my head in the clouds. Yeah, it's a dream. Peace feeling far. Needing some time. I won't get up. Today is mine. Need to be alone sometimes. I don't want nobody by my side. I just wanna be by myself. Everybody needs some time to just vibe and have nobody there. You just need to be by yourself. I took my time.
That's another one from Bridges' new one. Talking with Dr. Guthrie Ramsey. I'm smiling because I could be my theme song. I just want to be alone sometimes, y'all. It's nothing personal. Just go away. Maybe it's a mama thing. I don't know, but I love that.
Not maybe it's a mama thing. I'm pretty sure it's a mama thing.
Yeah, just go away, everybody. But the other thing about it is so refreshing to hear a song about title Alone, which is not boo-hoo, woe is me, I'm all alone. It's just like, can I please be alone?
Yes, indeed. You know, when you have children in the pandemic, you don't have the usual type of support that young mothers have. Her husband's a restaurateur, so you know what kind of hours those mean. And then you can't have people contaminating your babies.
Right.
So, you know, I guess you can say if nothing else happened, it produced some great art.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. And I will remind folk that you can go to Musiqology Music Media Group on Instagram and follow the dropping of that album later this month. So, Dr. Ramsey, I want to go through some of these folks that that left the building in 2024 or recently, some in 2025, and just get a little insight. Doesn't have to be a whole lecture, just some thoughts, especially some of the ones that got less note. I'm thinking about soul singer Britton Wood. He was touring for a long time. He was 83 when I passed, and I think he was touring at least until 2 years ago, because for a little while my brother Alexander was playing keys for him. And
I'm not familiar with Britton Wood. Tell me a little bit more about
I don't know too much about him, other than that my brother was playing keyboards for him, and he has a huge following in the Latino oldies community. He had a song called the Oogum Boogum song.
The Oogum Boogum song. Okay.
The Oogum Boogum song. Yeah, as an R&B artist. Anyway, okay, so we'll move on.
You know what that speaks to, though, is that there are so many dedicated musicians that never make headlines.
Yeah.
That put out a couple of records that get noticed, but you can believe that does not represent the scope of their career.
Yeah, that's true.
That they, there are some artists who become really big in Europe after, doing a song. I'm thinking of the 3 Degrees. But, a Philadelphia group that had a big hit, but they built this entire musical career outside the context of the United States. And so you can't use what happens here as the sole barometer of a successful life in music.
And apparently he had some other hits. He had Gimme a Little Sign, and he had Baby You Got It from Louisiana, and then ended up in Compton. Was part of the Compton track team. That's all I know. But I just know I know my brother was playing. Let's talk about Walter Scott, one of the co-founders of the Whispers, who passed away at 81.
Talk about a catalog of soul singing. I mean, good grief. The Whispers always. You can teach the Whispers if you want to teach the word blue note. That thing in African American singing that is pounding on that the minor third, major third thing that sounds like moaning and groaning that has been passed along, and it becomes just a very powerful design element in the era that Mr. Scott was singing in. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
again, not a household name,
right?
But
exactly,
still very important.
Not a household name, but you've probably heard his voice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, The Beat Goes On, Rock Steady, It's a Love Thing, and more.
Yes.
Probably, yes, a household name is Sly Stone. At least he was at one point. Actually talked with a friend in the hip-hop world who wasn't familiar with Sly Stone. But I bet you've heard the samples.
Of course. And, the thing about Sly Stone for me is that the nexus of his career among several genres, gospel, funk, rock, psychedelia, became a paradigm. I was looking at photographs of him after he passed, and man, those silk matching suits and platform heels were simply iconic. And what I thought about, particularly about his iconicity, is that I'm reading some music criticism by this new music critic, Lawrence Burney, or he's new to me, and he's got a new book out. And I'm reading it, and his idea of long history, because of his age, is the hip hop of the early 2000s with Lupe Fiasco and those. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming he's around 30, 35 or so. So he's talking about the formation of his musical text in the context of those years. And there was so much emphasis on the fashion choices associated with hip-hop artists and how your crew would measure themselves against, these fashion choices, which all happen to be brand names that they adopted as part of their tribal look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was saying, wow, was it, did I try to dress like Sly Stone? Because that's my generation stuff, you know what I mean? And the answer would be only at the homecoming dance.
Just that one. You shot your shot.
Yeah. Not walking down the hallway at school during high school.
Yeah, but you know what? I when I looked at this, when Sly passed and they were showing all these pictures of him, I realized how much Prince was influenced by him. So many of those looks that I kind of thought of as being Prince were really Sly Stone.
Oh yeah. How about it? Yeah, most of those great artists, like, and I'm thinking of three off the top of my head. Michael Jackson. I would certainly put Beyonce under this, and Prince. They study history. They study the influential artists from a previous moment and crafted styles based on those kind of a combination of those things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, and so, that's a great place to get inspiration, but it also, for me, is a reminder, got to know your history. Otherwise, it's like, oh, wow, look at this great innovation, except for it's just, it's a reboot or an update of something that's happened 2 or 3 other times in the history cycle. We are talking with Dr. Guthrie Ramsey. We're talking American music, Black American music to be specific, on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
You have cancer. The 3 words no one wants to hear. Of the cancers that impact our community, lung cancer is the most dangerous. More people succumb to lung cancer than colon, breast, and prostate combined. Black men are 12% more likely to develop lung cancer, and cases for Black women are rising. Early detection and comprehensive treatment is the best way to beat this dreaded disease. Providence is a research leader in multi-cancer early detection, offering blood tests that identify fast-spreading cancers that don't show symptoms in early stages. The Providence Los Angeles Integrated Network Cancer Program determines best protocols for each patient, interacting with specialists who share experiences, perspectives, and new findings specific to each case. With over 1,000 board-certified physicians, including top oncologists, surgeons, radiologists, and nurse specialists, Providence delivers whole-person care that understands your culture, values, preferences, and priorities. So, if you hear the words, "you have cancer," all you need is faith and providence.org/cancer.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
The conversation continues right now with Dr. Guthrie Ramsey. I always feel kind of bad, Dr. Ramsey, because I'm supposed to keep on top of all this stuff, right? It's my job. Read the news, follow the news, help people report it, opine a bit here and there. But it seems like so many musicians right now are leaving us. And I guess it's a function of their generation, right? People in their 80s and 90s tapping out. And so I kind of feel guilty, like, oh, I didn't give that person enough of a send-off, enough credit, enough props. And then I find out stuff about them that I probably should have known while they were still here. I think Roy Ayers is one of those. Like, wow, he did that and that and that. Okay, I didn't know all that.
Yeah. Well, I think it is a part of the function of people. For some reason, I'm hearing myself right now.
Miles, I'm not sure if you can fix that. He's hearing echo back of himself while he's talking. It happens sometimes.
Okay, that's better. It is a function of the population, growing, right? Growing older, I should say. And, of course, leaving us en masse, as it were. But there's also another reason that it's a little more difficult to keep up, is because what is being shared musically isn't available in so many different platforms than it used to be. We generally would have to, in the past, depend on a few record labels to be gatekeepers and share musical artistry. But now, with the democratization of dissemination due to the digital age, there's just so much flooding us all the time. And if you're like me and are musically curious and have a voracious appetite for it, I'm always encountering new music daily and new artists daily. And I was talking to a musical partner the other day, and we were like, wow, I really like this song. Will this artist ever know that I actually really like this song?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of talk about how the streaming models have demonetized artists and given them basically nothing for their music as far as the sales. But at the same time, there's more access, as you say, democratization, is that anybody can get distribution and people are selling merch and they're living off their live shows and things. But I wonder if, there's a change coming, a change afoot where that artist would know you like their music and where maybe the musicians can start getting a little bit more of the money, of the dollars that they're generating back in their own pockets.
I agree with you so much about that. I guess I'm faced with a choice. Okay, am I going to be a musician who spends 30 years trying to get a record label to pay attention to me and therefore not get heard because I can't get a deal? Or am I going to be heard and not paid? So you're being not heard and not paid in one model, but at least you're being heard and not paid. So that's the struggle I have with the present state of it all.
Yeah.
I personally decided in my advanced years that I'd rather be at least heard.
Interesting. Molly Bell, one of our, we call her the queen of the chat room, says, Dr. Ramsey, how important was gospel music to us. She says she loves the choirs. How about you? Grew up in Church of God in Christ, and everything revolves around her relationship to God.
Of course, I was a church musician ever since, I joined the choir, I think, at age 5.
Wow.
That was we were called the Sunbeams. And, we had a name, and after the service, you would get some of those little hot dogs wrapped in a Pillsbury biscuit, which I thought was the greatest invention on earth. So for me, that participating in those kinds of communities, music-making communities and churches, was not only about the music, but was about everything connected to it. It was about people feeding you, people making friends with you, puppy love, all of that stuff that keeps life going is what I experienced in those community music-making models.
You know, before we went to news, traffic, and sports, I was talking about how we're looking at mass erasure of black culture and history in this country right now. And it's very blatant and intentional. You don't have to be a conspiracy theorist anymore to see the attacks on the Kennedy Center, the Blacksonian, trying to remove ethnic studies, diversity, equity, and inclusion, all of these things from our sphere of, influence. And I said, I don't think they can do that with the music. Are you concerned that actually could happen, that we could start to see the revisionism of music history and the erasing of black contributions in your field?
I am confident that black musicians will continue to thrive, will continue to thrive creatively anyway, and to continue to push our traditions into the future. I had a great time at the Montreal Jazz Fest this year, a couple of weeks ago, and the amazing music I heard under the conditions that you just described was uplifting, and it seemed to me those musicians were musicking with a purpose. All I think is going to happen is that our purpose is going to become more clearly defined, and we're going to understand what the stakes are. They're not theoretical anymore, as you're saying. This is actually happening on our watch. And I don't know about anybody else, but I can't wait to put my albums out because I'm constantly getting inspired in this.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point.
Participating in music, because that was one of the first signs of our humanity when we got to these shores.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, from whichever generation you are, I feel like there are people have always accessed music we quote-unquote weren't supposed to get, whether it was Too Short selling out of the trunk of the car, or black music being, labeled the devil's music and try to keep it away from white kids or, young people in general. Whatever generation it is, I feel like there's something that's being labeled as bad, or they're trying to ban it, they're trying to marginalize it, and music somehow always gets around.
Yes, it really does. I mean, I've just finished writing about C. Dolores Tucker's campaign against Tupac Shakur's style of rapping, which many people found explicit. And here's the rub for me, is that she was a staunch civil rights activist, putting her body on the line for women and black women and children. She walked across the bridge in Selma in 1965. She had been an activist her entire life, and then a new form of activism emerges, and she honestly believed she was fighting for the life of her community by standing up against what she was hearing. So I want to remind your listeners that these ideas, this music is to inspire debate, to inspire us to listen to one another, and to talk about the issues in our community. And music is how we do that. I'm on the streets of Philadelphia right now, if you can hear the background noise.
Well, we're up against the clock here, Dr. Ramsey. Tavis Smiley's about to come on this microphone. But thank you so much for the convo, and I hope people will check out Bridge, check out the Musiqology Media Group on Instagram. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Like I said, Tavis Smiley's about to walk into the building. He's got a great show, into the room, I should say. Like my mama used to say, history is now, and we are making it together. Until tomorrow, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. A deadly fire tore through Gabriel House, an assisted living facility in Fall River, Massachusetts, late Sunday. Here's Fall River Mayor Paul Coogan.
It's a terrible tragedy for the family and the residents and fire department, police, DMS, everybody did a 5-star job.
Multiple residents died, dozens were injured, and 5 firefighters were hurt. The cause is under investigation. Like New York City Mayor Eric Adams raised $1 million in one night, rallying support for his independent re-election bid against progressive Democrat Zohran Mamdani. With big donors and bold stakes, the race is heating up fast. And a new report